Wilkie the Wizard. In the land of Noodledom, there was a tiny village made up entirely of wizards. In this unique village, all children learned the craft of wizardry from the ages of 3 to 12. At the age of 12, children were expected to perform one spell of their choosing at the Master Wizard graduation ceremony. Master Wizards could command brooms to sweep their homes, birds and mice to sew their clothing, or even make themselves disappear from a room in a puff of smoke. In 7 days, Wilkie would be performing at the Master Wizard graduation ceremony, and he was hardly a Master Wizard. Wilkie's spells never quite went according to plan. Once, when he cast a spell on a pen to begin writing an essay while at school, the pen instead began drawing mustaches on his classmates' faces. It wasn't that Wilkie wasn't practicing his spells either. Wilkie spent night after night reading, chanting, and causing problems at home. Last night, Wilkie cast a spell to wash dishes after dinner. Instead, the dishes washed Wilkie and his parents. Wilkie's parents were worried. The last tutor they hired ran out of the house with a ham and cheese sandwich chasing after her. The one before that quit after Wilkie mistakenly turned her skin into that of an alligator and couldn't reverse the spell. It was starting to seem hopeless that Wilkie would ever become a Master Wizard. But Wilkie had a plan for the graduation ceremony. He decided to do a traditional spell, produce a rabbit from a hat. After all, thousands of wizards had performed the spell before without any problems, so what could really go wrong? Wilkie had his grandfather's purple silk wizard hat and his 1,000,001 magic spells book from his parents' study. He practiced every day after school in his bedroom. Tap, tap, circle, circle, tap, tap, tap. Wama, wama, tribble, bibble, wazza, zoo, soft and furry, ears and carrots, babbit, rabbit. He produced a rat, a snake, a skunk. His parents were really angry about the skunk. Beetles, and even an adorable kitten. But no rabbit. This was not going well, and the ceremony was tomorrow morning. Wilkie was crying when his dad came in his room. Wilkie, your mom and I want you to know that no matter what happens tomorrow at the graduation ceremony, we love you and are proud of how hard you have worked. It takes a strong person to keep trying, even when things aren't going his way. Wilkie smiled weakly. Thanks, Dad. I'm sure I'll at least make everyone laugh. Wilkie and his dad hugged and said goodnight. The next day, Wilkie dressed and packed up his wand and his grandfather's hat. Wilkie and his parents walked to the Noodledom auditorium. After a hug from his parents, they took their seats and Wilkie went backstage. Millie was up first. She produced a single rose for every mother in the audience with a snap of her fingers. The crowd and judges clapped with their approval. Stone was next. He created a dove from a sheet of paper. He was definitely a master wizard. Wilkie was up. He walked to the center of the stage and set his hat on the small table. With his wand, tap, tap, circle, circle, tap, tap, tap. Wama, wama, tribble, bibble, wazza, zoo, soft and furry, ears and carrots, babbit, rabbit. Two white ears appeared over the rim of the purple hat, then eyes, a twitching nose, but then another set of ears appeared, then another, then another. Within seconds, the table was covered in white rabbits. Then the rabbits were spilling onto the stage floor. Then the stage floor was full of rabbits. Wilkie was standing in the middle, befuddled, while more and more and still more rabbits appeared. Rabbits were under the audience's seats, on their laps, on their heads. The young children in the audience were laughing and trying to pick up as many rabbits as their little arms could hold. Wilkie was desperately trying to undo the spell. After several tries, he finally was able to at least stop more rabbits from coming out of his grandfather's hat. The entire room was filled with laughter. Even Wilkie's parents were laughing. Wilkie looked over at the judges and said, "Ta-da!" The three judges weren't sure what to make of the spell gone wrong by Wilkie. With serious faces, they looked around the room. One of the judges began to smile and her shoulders started to shake. Then the second judge snorted and began to laugh, followed by the third who shrugged his shoulders and gave in to a deep belly-jiggling laugh. "Wilkie," the first judge said, "I don't think you intended this," she gestured around the room, "this result when you cast your spell, but the consequences were most pleasant. I haven't laughed like this in, well, years." The second judge agreed and said, "Wilkie, you are a master wizard of laughter, and it appears the entire village agrees." Wilkie was so relieved. His parents weaved through the villagers and the rabbits and made it to the stage. They hugged Wilkie and his mom, whispered in his ear, "Sometimes mistakes are the best way to figure out our strengths." The third judge cleared his throat. "Wilkie, now can you send these rabbits back to their dens?" Wilkie waved his wand over the stage and said, "Rabbit babbit, carrots and ears, furry and soft, zoowaza, triple bibble, wama wama." The room was cleared of rabbits and filled with applause. That evening, Wilkie went home with his parents as a master wizard, eager to make his next mistake. The end.